How can mindfulness be used to combat stress? Well, first, it's important for us to look at exactly what is stress and what is mindfulness. Stress fundamentally is a threat response. It is the activation of your nervous system into a hyper-aroused state or hypo-aroused state whereby you are ready yourself to protect or defend yourself against a perceived threat. And yet, that threat might not be just the lion or the tiger or the bear as it used to be. These days we also have social threats and, financial threats and relational threats. And so we spend so much of our lives being continuously bombarded by this threats of the world that we continuously just engage with, and our nervous system is continuously on alert and in the state of arousal that leaves us feeling anxious or depressed or overworked or overexerted. And we spend so much time just suffering from stress. Another way to think about stress is the gap between where you are and where you want to be, where the gap between how things are right now and how you want them to be or how you think they should be. And that creates a gap of stress. People deal with stress in many different ways: problem solving, avoidance, any number of different strategies we use to get out of this stressful state, because it is such an unpleasant state to be in, to feel so stressed all the time, especially if it's prolonged stress. And so what is mindfulness? Well, mindfulness is fundamentally the ability to be fully present in this moment, without thinking, without feeling, just being right here, right now. It is our ability to step back into ourselves as the conscious awareness that exists deep within us, as our true self. For if you think about it, or if you just listen, you don't have to think right now, is that thoughts appear in our consciousness. Feelings appear in our consciousness. These are objects of consciousness. But mindfulness is the ability to tap in and just remain as the consciousness itself. And if you are able to do that, which you are able to bear witness to life instead of being so caught up in it. You are able to step back and be the observer instead of the participant for that moment. Now, the distinction between observer and participant is actually much less dichotomous than that, because you are able to be mindful and participate at the same time. You can be mindful while you are doing things, while you are thinking even, where there is that slight disconnect in a good way between what you're thinking and who you know yourself to be. In our ordinary state of mind, so to speak, we exist as our thoughts and our feelings. We identify so strongly with them, where we take each thought to be a representation of who we are. A mindfulness practice allows us to step back from that, to detach from the thoughts and our identity with them, and instead remain as the silent, peaceful observer. Now, this might not sound attractive, but that's because you're thinking about it. If you are to experience it, which you do at many times throughout the day, it's just not something that the mind pays attention to, so you probably don't remember it. But an example of this is when you see something beautiful like a magnificent sunset. it is so awe-inspiring that the mind stops for a moment and you are simply taking it all in. And it feels so good to be in that moment. People go searching for those feelings all of the time, because what it does is it's a break from the stream of thinking that we are so plagued by at every moment of the day. Another way that we encounter this is when we experience something for the first time, where we don't know what to expect, and so our awareness remains open to the experience. We do not know, so we must be open and remain as this emptiness to see what comes. And in those times, that can be a great time of peace too, because you are just remaining that calm, listening, open state of mind or of being. It's not a mind thing. It's also what they call the open-hearted state, where you are open to experience. You are a willing participant in life of the unknown, where you stand there and you say, I'm just observing. And that is what mindfulness is. And if you're able to hold on to that, so to speak, it's not really a holding on to because you cannot grasp it, but if you're able to be mindful for a few moments or a few minutes, a sudden peace and serenity washes over your being. For you suddenly come into alignment with life itself. Because at this moment, this is what is. When we argue with reality, we create stress. When we wish for things that aren't currently here, we create stress and a longing and a desire to not be here now, where this is the only moment that there is. There is no future except as it's experienced in the now. There is no past except as it's experienced in the now. For the past is but a memory, and the future but a projection. The now, or the present moment, is all that there ever truly is in reality. And so why not align yourself with it? Be here in this moment with whatever presents itself. For it is what it is right now. And there is constantly changing. Life is in flux. The moment never stays the same. This too shall pass, is the old expression that perfectly encompasses this message of nothing remains the same. And that's okay. Things come into being, they stick around for a while, and then they go out of existence. It is the constant rotation of life and death in this world. And all things experience it, as do we. We are just in the sticking around stage right now. But on a smaller level, we are constantly creating things, and then they are constantly being destroyed. And that's the cycle of life, and that's okay. It's just the nature of things. So why resist that? Why not instead choose to be present with all of it? To bear witness to the wonder of life as it unfolds in your awareness. And so instead of being stressed out all the time, take a moment to just be here with what is. Just for this moment. Whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, you can be with it. And there is a huge transformational shift that happens when you're able to do this. For all of a sudden, the seriousness of all things takes a step back, and the pressure of life eases. And this moment is just okay as it is. Doesn't have to be good or bad. Place no judgments on it at all, and instead just be with it and feel yourself present here in the now. Feel yourself connected to life, for you are a manifestation of life, just as all things are. We are not disconnected, separate, isolated entities in this world. We are momentary pieces of the puzzle that live a semi-autonomous existence. But we are still deeply connected to life itself. And if you look deep within you, you will find this out. You don't have to believe me. In fact, I'm not asking you to believe me. You need only look inwards and see what is there for you to experience. For you are a microcosm of the macrocosm of the world. And you contain within you all the secrets of the universe. You need only be aware and wait and see. And so take some time, so to speak, and be present, be mindful, live in the now, be here completely, without resistance, without desire to want to be somewhere else, without waiting for a better future or a better moment to arise. Because that will come, and then it will get worse again, and then it will get better again. And that's okay. That's the flux of life. And so instead, just choose to be here, just for this moment. And you also don't need to set a goal for yourself to be mindful all the time. It's completely unachievable, because you can only be mindful now. So just do that. Be here now, fully as yourself, and welcome life as it comes and unfolds in your awareness. Resistance is futile, for life will do what it wants. And so we might as well align ourselves with it and be part of it and get to experience the uniqueness of being you in this world while remaining as the ever-present, watchful observer of all things. Find this deep connection and know the truth of it all.